Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Tom Zuba, and I've written 2 books. The first book is called Permission to Mourn, A New Way to Do Grief. And the second book is called Becoming Radiant, A New Way to Do Life. So it is a new year. It is the beginning of 2021. I hesitate to say Happy New Year because I know for some of you, the thought that this could possibly be happy is not on your radar screen. It's not feeling like it's anything realistic at all. So let's acknowledge that it is a new year. What I want to talk about today is this notion of healing. There is so much going on in the world. That would be an understatement. There is so much going on in the United States over the last 24 hours, looking into the future. It's anyone's guess. Even more important to talk about healing. Do I believe that healing is possible? I do. And for those of you that don't know much about me, I'm living with the death of my daughter, Erin. I'm living with the death of my wife, Trish. And I'm living with the death of my son, Rory. And like I said, I do believe that healing is possible. I don't, however, for me, believe that healing is a destination. I don't believe I'm going to wake up one day and go, hallelujah, I'm healed, I'm healed, I'm healed. That doesn't seem truthful. That doesn't seem honest. What I have come to believe and what I've been able to create is every single day with intention, with vision, and with focused action, I can heal a little bit more. I can heal a little bit more. So for me, healing has become my way of being. Healing has become my way of being in the world. That's what I want to talk about today, this notion of healing. I'm excited at 11:30 to introduce you to a friend of mine who I hope will become a friend of yours, an amazing woman by the name of Crystal Ewing. Crystal participated in my holiday program. Crystal is a living, breathing example of the healing that is possible. So before I bring my co-host Jessica on, I want to read a little bit from the introduction of my second book, Becoming Radiant. The first chapter is called The Invitation. To become who you have never been, you must do what you have never done. This is the challenge, the intention, the prayer, the vision. This is the work. The action, the opportunity, the hope, the promise. This is the invitation to become who we have never been. We must do what we have never done. That's the invitation. That's the invitation. That's what I want to talk about today. Hi, Jessica.
Hello. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
So this is a new year.
It is a new year. Happy 2021.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. What we're going to talk about today is this concept of healing. Healing. And to me, it's a perfect topic considering all that's going on in the world. Literally, what's been going on in the United States over the last 24 hours, and what is going on around the world with the pandemic, with the virus, which I know has touched you and your daughter intimately. So before I get into it, I want to read a little bit more from Becoming Radiant. These are some thoughts I have about healing. Because so many times people say, is healing possible? And is it? And if it is, how will I know? How will I recognize it? So this is where I was a couple years ago when this book came out. Healing feels like moving out of deep, deep sadness into a space of gratitude. Being grateful that my beloved came at all, that she touched my life, that my life touched hers deeply and profoundly. Being grateful that they love me still and that I love them. Healing is being able to look at photos and videos and smiling and laughing and remembering and feeling with deep gratitude. It's noticing the colors of life again. It's literally enjoying a cup of coffee. Healing is becoming comfortable in my own skin again, or maybe for the first time.
Yeah.
And feeling passionate about something or someone, feeling passionate about myself. I knew I was healing when I could start to say yes. Much more often than I said no, no, no. When I was able to say yes to life, to love, to myself. Healing is feeling hopeful and looking forward. It's figuring out, why did I come to the planet? Why am I here? Healing gives meaning and purpose to all that I've lived through. When I say the word healing to you today, in 2021, what does healing mean for you, or what does it bring up for you?
All of those things. Sometimes baby steps start again. As we know, healing is not linear. It's very, very cyclical. So sometimes it's just being grateful for, I got to wake up in a warm bed. And on the days that I get to have my lily pad with me, the weekends, I'm grateful that I get to, snuggle her and I have her with me. And I'm grateful for getting up and having my little routine where I shuffle into the kitchen on my cold tile. And I have my little ritual of playing my music and making my coffee. And sometimes it goes back just to that fundamental. I'm grateful for this because I find healing in the ritual of this.
Can you go back to the beginning? Because I know that there are people listening that are saying, grateful.
Yeah.
Do you not know what happened to me? I mean, can you go back there and remember, like, when was the first time someone suggested that you should or could or might consider being grateful? And what was your response?
I don't even remember the word grateful being brought up, but it was, of course, it comes in different forms. But finding hope. So I'll translate that to hope in the early stages. Hope was just that I could make it through another day or make it through the morning, because taking on the whole day seemed like it was too much of a challenge. It was too overwhelming to think that far ahead, and I couldn't. I could only take on that morning. So what could I look forward to? What enjoyment could I get for the morning? And even if it was check off these things that I needed to do so that I could get back into my bed, which was my safe, sacred space, then that's what I did. And it's baby steps. And again, knowing that here almost, well, approaching 4 years out, those days are fewer and far between. But I do have those moments where I don't want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to get off the couch.
Yeah.
And I want to seep in it and I want to wallow for a little bit.
And I think it's so important that we say over and over again, wherever you are, start there.
Yes.
Start there. So to two of your points, if your whole day is about sitting on the couch, and you can literally just look and go, I have a couch.
Yeah.
I have a couch. All right, we got one thing to be grateful for. Yeah. I have a couch. And I am not joking. I'm not exaggerating. I'm being serious. We start where we are. I have a couch. And it's in a house.
Yeah.
And even though maybe I wish I was dead, I still have a couch and I still have a house. And here in Illinois, it's cold. So I have a furnace, and the furnace is working. Those are 4 things to be grateful for. Yes. That's where we could start. And to your other point, I have a list of things I need to do. I did it. I'm back in bed, my safe place. Yeah. I have a bed. I have sheets. I have pillows. They're kind of clean, which means I have a washing machine. Yeah. The truth is, if we're really, really honest, and if we can open a little bit, and I know how difficult it is to open at the beginning, there really is always something to be grateful for. I was talking with a client this morning, and this is important to remember as well. It's not either or. I mean, for some people, it's, I actually do wish I was dead. I wish I hadn't woken up this morning, but I am grateful I have a couch. As long as I'm alive, I am grateful I have a couch. It's not either or, it can be both.
It absolutely can be. And which is so hard to understand, especially in the beginning, but it can absolutely be both. That joy or gratitude can sit alongside sorrow and despair.
Exactly. And if I can take it one step further, and if I can hold the truth that what I focus on expands, what I put my attention on, I create more of. If the choices are, as you said, joy and gratitude, or sorrow and despair, I'm going to choose joy and gratitude. I'm going to choose joy and gratitude, hoping and trusting that if I really do lean into them a little bit, they'll begin to expand.
Absolutely. And it takes practice in the beginning, choosing to see maybe the sun peeping through the curtains knowing that maybe I don't have the energy to put my boots on and my coat and my hat and to go out and to walk into the sunshine, but that from my couch, I can see that it's sunny outside, and that brings me joy.
There were literally times, many times, when I would notice the sun shining in through a window, and I would literally lay on the floor in the winter to allow the sun, just to be able to feel the warmth of the sun on my face through the window pane in the winter.
I know. I do the same thing. And it's healing. And I think it's also healing on a cellular level. And if we can't get out into it for whatever reason, maybe we're not physically able, or we just don't have the mental space to be able to put the layers on, to be able to go out into it, to experience that from inside, or if that even feels better. I'm going to stay in my warm, cozy house, but I want to feel the sunlight on my face and to bask in it. And then for me, it's also thinking kind of, if I'm able to rise above that, what is the source of the sun? What is the source of that warmth? And then I picture my Olivia and my God, the creator of that. And that takes some baby steps to get there. Maybe some people are already there, you know, in their healing journey, but that warms me up, and that fills up my cup. And it helps me in my gratitude journey.
And that is a conscious step that we can take to shift our perception, to shift at the way we are looking at life. We both know that healing is possible.
Absolutely.
Because of our own personal life experiences. And what you and I are going to do through the month of January is explore different tools, different avenues, different resources out there to help us do this thing called life a new way.
Absolutely. And what works for one person may not resonate with another. So being able to present multiple tools to see what feels good, or what feels like the next right step for someone, that excites me.
Right. And we're also going to ask people to be open, because even though this might not resonate with you today, you know, maybe tomorrow you'll go, I actually do want to try acupuncture. You know, that sounds like something today that I might be, or a hypnotist, or Reiki.
Or breath work, or putting on some good music. For me, that was so transformative in the beginning. Just having a playlist that was my go-to, that kept me up. And I would have it on almost all of the time, you know, while I was in the house doing different things, and then in the car. It kept me, you know, some would say your vibrational energy higher, or it just kept me upbeat and focusing on something a little bit more positive. And you could easily do that with sad music too, if you want to feel all of the, for music, for me, music is so, you know, transformative. I think it is for many people, but having that happy kind of go-to playlist to start my day with was huge.
And to me, there's nothing like catching myself and realizing, oh, I'm in the kitchen. The music is really, really loud. I'm singing along to this song, and I am feeling really, really good.
Yeah. I didn't know I was going to feel like this. And being surprised by it, and then becoming appreciative of it, and it becomes more of a happy cycle versus just a random kind of coincidence.
What would you say to someone, and I know that they're out there, who's going, I don't really know what you're talking about. My husband died, or my child died. I don't deserve to be happy. I don't want to be happy. Happiness is not within my reach. So I really don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so many people, and I told myself a similar story. My daughter has passed. All of my happy days are behind me. And our circumstances were different. And I know some people, they have a lot of guilt and shame surrounding the passing of their loved one. And so then there's that added cloak of depression and guilt and shame. But I go back to the heart of my Olivia and what I know she would want for me and what she does want for me and for my God. And it's happiness and it's joy and it's living my best life to honor her, but also for me, for her living sister, for my family, for my friends, for my community. But for me, I don't want to have to suffer anymore. And I know that if Olivia were sitting across from me, which, you know, in many ways she is, but she would say, Mommy, I want you to be happy. Put the happy playlist on, dance and sing like we used to do together in the kitchen. That if we really can look inside, what does your loved one want for you? And to listen to that gentle nudge from them.
And I think for a lot of people, that's a starting point. For some reason, it's easier for them to think, well, what would Olivia want for me? What would Trish want for me? What would Rory want for me? But I love that then you took it to the next step and the next step and the next step. Because for me, I believe that true healing boils down to, well, what exactly do I want for me? You know, it's like, what do I want for myself?
And it's not selfish to want to be happy. And part of the old way of doing grief and the old belief system is that in order to honor my loved one, I got to sit in this grief and mourn him or her forever, because that's how I honor our love and their life and our bond. And if I move on, or if I appear to be moving on, or if I appear to be smiling too much, then that means that that bond no longer exists or it wasn't authentic. But that, if we can really look inward, is that the truth? Does that honor our loved one and our relationship with our loved one? Or does that just make us stuck and stagnant? That doesn't allow any room for me, for growth and for beauty and for joy. And again, like, do we come here to suffer and to just experience the pain in life and not move on from it? Or did we come here and experience that, but also be able to grow and to heal continuously?
And that's a story that is worth examining by each one of us. It's like, where did this notion that when someone that you love dies, in order to remain loyal to them, we must continue to suffer? It's like, who thought that would be a good idea?
I don't even know, because I don't believe it's written anywhere, but it certainly has been passed down. And it's what I read in books, and it's what I saw in movies, and it's just what I thought of in my heart, that I must, in the early days, you know, that I must suffer, that life will never, ever be anything other than miserable.
And that's one
Boy,
of the,
am I glad that I learned a new way. And I'm still learning.
Yeah. And that's one of the messages that we want to share with folks throughout the next coming weeks and months, that there actually is a new way to do this. And the opportunity to experience joy, to experience happiness, to feel fulfilled, to be excited about being alive again, that is available. That's available to each one of us. That's one of the reasons I'm excited about introducing folks to Crystal. I first became aware of Crystal when she asked me if she could read chapter by chapter by chapter of Permission to Mourn. And I said, sure, absolutely. And I was mesmerized by this woman who, in her very sweet, I'm going to use the word simple, a loving way, not
Very
only
gentle. Yes.
read chapter by chapter by chapter of Permission to Mourn, and then talked about how it very personally related to her and how it helped her. Then she asked if she could read the second book, and I said, absolutely. And then, as you know, she participated in my holiday program, which just wrapped up. It was a 3-week program. So I got to see her up close and personal. I felt like I got to know her and her son Lonnie better. And I was just talking with her. I was talking to someone about her the other day. Her physical transformation from the very first time I laid eyes on her to how she showed up in the final Zoom. I mean, this dynamic, radiant, glowing human being. It's possible. I mean, it's absolutely possible.
It absolutely is. And it's incredible when you witness that, when you witness someone putting in the work and doing whatever they need to do to be able to get to the next step and then to get to the next step. So it's been incredible to see her transformation. I'm so excited to see her and meet her now.
I am too. So I'm bringing her on. Hey, Crystal.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I am good.
Did you hear us talking about you?
I just turned it on. I only heard a little bit, but thank you.
You're welcome. I
was Mufasin.
So what I was saying is, I hardly know you. I mean, you and I have been aware of you for a very short period of time. But when I think about who you were, who Crystal was when you started to read Permission to Mourn, and look at your face and like who you are now, like this radiant, light-filled being that you've become. Are you aware of that transformation?
Yes. Yes. It's awesome.
So when your son Lonnie passed, did you believe that healing was possible, or what did you think laid in store for you for the rest of your life?
Oh, stuck in a rut. Pain, a lot of pain every day. I mean, and then I drowned it in beer, in alcohol, whiskey, whatever I drank that day, really. That was my choice to numb it, so I didn't have to feel it as much. I still felt it. I still had huge breakdowns, horrible days, lay in bed, but I never thought I'd be here. Not where I am today. Never in a million years.
So how did you get here? Do you remember, like, what was the first, notion that, hey, maybe it could be different?
Well, I'll share this. I couldn't read books. I love to read. I couldn't read. I tried to read and I couldn't read. And I worked on myself. I've always been a positive type person anyway. Like I've always have been. So I did work on it, but it wasn't working. I couldn't read. And so I found you. You popped up on my Facebook. Lonnie said, "Hey mom, you gotta read this guy's books." And that's when I was able to start reading again. And so it just made a huge difference. It helped. I said, reading your book is like, hey, I did some of this stuff along the way already, because I did. But then it was just transforming, as you say. it was just transforming. And then now I can read. I'm like a book sponge right now because I can read again. And I think I answered your question.
So literally you're on Facebook and you see one of my Facebook lives?
Yep. And I think I want to say it was April or May. I don't remember for sure. I'd have to look back. Something popped up in the memory of 2020 things, that pop up on your Facebook.
Yeah.
Because there was a date and I should have wrote it down because I thought, I should have wrote that down.
Do you have any memory at all? It's like, what did I say, or what was it that, got your attention, that kind of hooked you in?
Oh man, I don't really know. I couldn't tell you at that point because I was still really broken. I really was. I was numb and probably was drunk when I watched it, to be honest.
So you really do believe that somehow, some way, your son Lonnie brought us together?
Oh yes, no doubt. Absolutely no doubt. No doubt at all. And he still does. And the stuff that happens, I'll post something on my Facebook the day before you, and then you post a similar thing, and so does the tribe. Like, it's just amazing. I've watched it over and over again. That's not a coincidence. That's our loved ones and spirit, like God, my God, working with all of us, that's just not a coincidence.
So did you always know that Lonnie was available to you, after he passed, or was that something that was just part of your belief?
Yes. That was immediate after. The night when Lonnie passed was a long story, a rough story. But coming home from the staging area, which people won't understand unless they've already heard my story, my boyfriend was driving me home and to my house then, and I felt nauseous, which of course, so because we had just got the official news, which as a mom that night I already knew, but so we're driving home and I just rolled the window down the pickup because I was feeling nauseous and just getting the air, and I was looking out and up and out and saying, Lonnie, just give me a sign. Please give me a sign that you're okay. And this red-tailed hawk swooped down and flew all the way to my driveway with us. And it was probably 2 miles. And he was literally flying right here, looking at me. And I know that was my Lonnie saying, Mom, I'm okay. I'm great. I'm flying free. So, and many, many, many other signs. I can't say never because, when I got his ashes back, everybody's like, you need to go to bed. You need to go to bed. And it was a while. It was almost 2 weeks, week and a half before we, because it was a criminal investigation, they wouldn't release his body for a little while. And so it took a while. Anyway, when I got his ashes back, I was just like, I have him. Like, I just had him. And I knew I already had him, but I had him. So I was drinking, of course. But that day I was like, you know what, Lonnie, we're buying a little bottle of Fireball because something Lonnie liked. He really liked gin, but I don't like gin at all. Anyway, so I bought a little bottle of Fireball and I had some beer and I went and cigarettes. I smoked when Lonnie passed again. I don't smoke now, of course, but anyway, you pick up all those things when you're in that stress moment where you shouldn't. There's other ways to do it. Now I know. But anyway, and I sat out on I had like a covered porch, which was also my laundry at my old house. Well, I sat out there all by myself. Everybody's like, you need to go to bed. I'm like, just leave me alone. I am hanging out with my son. I said, Lonnie and I are talking, and we did. And he truly, like, I just sat back there and had a whole conversation with Lonnie. So, but I don't know that I knew then as deep as I know now. Like, not as clear. It's much clearer now.
So is it something that you work on? Do you work to strengthen your relationship with him, or does it come pretty easily?
Oh no, I have to work on it. Work, lots of work. And I mean, kind of. Sometimes it just comes real simple, but then if I really want to have a conversation with him, I really, I do my meditation state and really bring him in the complete quiet. But even driving down the road, I'll turn off the radio and say, hey, Lon, what's up? And do some deep breathing, and voila, he comes in that way. Or I'll ask him a question, like something that's, or spirit, either one.
So where do you think Lonnie is right now?
Right here. And in every room of everybody watching.
And this is a hard question for me to ask, particularly moms. But if we gave him the opportunity to come back and go, hey, Lonnie, you can come back into your body and you can pick up where you left off, would he come back?
No way. No way. And as a mom, as hard as that is to say, no, I don't want it. I wouldn't want him to. He was suffering so bad. So bad.
Do you
Not
think
anymore?
do you think is he missing out on life?
Oh no. Nope. He's enjoying it now with none of the stuff in his head and none of the brain injury, none of the psychotic issues, none of the nothing from his brain, he's not suffering. So no way, he's having a ball.
Crystal, to hear you say that from a mom, from a parent to another mom, I think that is incredibly beautiful and selfless of you, that how Lonnie feels, and that that he would not choose to come back and to be in his human form and to suffer, and that you have that peace in knowing that he is free from all of this. I think that's an incredible gift that you're giving to him, that you're giving to yourself, and that you're letting everybody that's watching now, that's gonna watch this, be a part of. Because that's huge. It's a huge step. What you just said, that's incredible.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the fact that you just said it so matter of factly, it's like, oh, no. This is what I know. This is what I believe. I think so often people get confused. I mean, they're the ones that are missing their beloveds, which is completely understandable. But then they project that on our loved ones and think, oh, missing out on their 16th birthday, or missing out on getting married, or like my wife, should Sean have kids? Oh, she's going to miss out on the grandkids. I don't believe any of that. I mean, I believe she's going to be more a part of that from where she is than if she was here physically. But as Jessica said, to hear someone else say that, it's a powerful gift. It's a picture of what's possible.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him to suffer anymore. So no.
Do you have a sense for what Lonnie's hopes and dreams are for his mom's life?
Yes. To teach and share. I don't know if either one of you have caught the past couple of days. I started doing a live again, just me doing and sharing what I've learned and some of my own things too. And I'm going to keep doing that, and I'm going to keep going. And I don't know. I kind of want to write a book, but I can't figure out. I've wanted to write a book since right after Lonnie passed. And then it was, ew, I can't do this because I was going to tell this story and I thought, I stopped. And there was a reason why I stopped, because that wasn't the right thing. And some of the story has to be in it, but think more of positivity and what you can do and how you can grow and heal. And so, but anyway, yes, teaching and sharing my shine bright.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you always been this brave? It takes a lot of bravery to share your story for me to click like the go live like this, because I trust Tom so much. I'm here, but have you always been this brave? Were you this brave before Lonnie's passing?
No, not quite this brave.
Wow.
I'm a doTERRA wellness advocate too. I love my oils. I don't push, but I have shared videos. I shared lives prior through the year, but not ever feeling this good. I don't know how to, or fearless. I don't know the words I need.
Yeah.
So, but no, I haven't. And I'll tell you something. I had anxiety issues my whole life, like horrible. And when Lonnie left his physical body, he took my anxiety with him. A lot of people are like, what? And I'm like, so I had to learn. I'm talking my whole life, I've had issues with anxiety. And so I had to learn not to have anxiety.
Wow.
And then I would create anxiety in myself because I was like, I'm supposed to be anxious right now. I'm supposed to be scared to go in this big group of people. I'm supposed to be scared to walk into this place all by myself. And I wasn't, but I was in my mind making myself. So I had to learn. And don't get me wrong, my anxiety is not completely and totally gone. I wouldn't want it to be, because I would feel like my intuition would be gone then, because you have to have some type of anxiety to make sure you kind of make the right choice. So you get them nudges from, say, God, Lonnie, spirit, whatever, So, but that's one of my things. So I think that's part of I'm braver now.
Incredible.
What I've noticed in addition is you do take steps to take care of yourself. And one of the things you did is you participated in my holiday program. And would you share with folks a little bit, what was that like for you to be in this safe, sacred space with 20 some other people?
It was heartfelt. It was amazing getting to know them people on a deeper level, and the friendships that we grew, and sharing freely and openly, because many times, of course, some things we don't share. I'm pretty open. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I just don't. I'm just not that person. I like to share straight up, so but it was good. There was a few things, because there's some things I don't share because I don't want some people to hear, or maybe a feeling of something going on. So that was really nice in that aspect. And then just watching them grow, it was absolutely amazing watching, because we had some very fresh people that had lost loved ones very short time when they started the holiday program. And wow, the growth in that little bit of 22 days was just absolutely amazing, just beautiful. So, and that those relationships get to continue and heal together and continue to heal together. And that's what it's just awesome. And I'm excited about that, for that to continue.
Yeah, to me, I think until we experience the power of the group, the energetic power of the whole, to lift everyone and carry everyone and, probably help us feel a little bit more courageous, allow us to be a little bit more vulnerable, which accelerates our ability to heal. It's one of those things that unless you've experienced it, I think it's really, really hard to explain to someone else.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, it felt like we had known each other for years.
Yes. It was that powerful, yes.
It's like day 11.
Right. And it's the collective healing of the group, and the individual healing is incredible. And then how those relationships do continue, and friendships that will go on for years and years, and and a lifetime if you choose, which is amazing. And like energy attracts like energy. So the powerful people that are in this group will continue to lift one another up, and you'll carry one another through your journeys.
Well, and that's one of the things that I say so often is that when and if we're able, I'm going to change my language a little bit. We get to become the teachers. It's like, how else are the other people going to know? And to me, that's how we know that healing is occurring, when we're willing to step out and become a teacher like you are starting to do with your lives.
Yes.
Which is amazing.
What would you say, if you could boil it down, what message are you hoping to share with folks through this work that you're going to begin to embark on?
Well, as you say, Tom, healing is possible. It is. And in many ways, because just like you've been doing too, it doesn't just have to be the death of a loved one. We have so many griefs and so I try to share that too, is because I don't want to not attract people that are maybe grieving something else, and because they need it too. So what was your question exactly again?
Well, your message, if you could, succinctly share, what is the message you're hoping to share with the world?
Okay, well, I named my group Eternally Shining Bright with LT3. So that's Lonnie Lee. And love and light and joy, and we can live a joy-filled life, especially with everything going on right now. And I did put a post up like, come on, people, just shut your darn TVs off and stop watching. There's nothing we can do about it. I'm sorry, but let's just live our life, shut it off for a while, take a breath. We have to share our light, because the world's just going to keep getting uglier if we keep being ugly. So.
And it sounds so much to me, Crystal, like you are living your life, but you're doing it with intention, with the purpose of healing, with the purpose of shining your light and shining Lonnie's light as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, he's in all of it.
So, Crystal, what if somebody's out there going, oh, I don't know, there must be something super duper special about her. She doesn't really understand me. My child just died, or my husband, or my wife, or my sibling. She's talking about love and light and joy. I don't get it. Her pain must not be the same as my pain.
I've been there. I've been on that road of screaming, crying, freaking out every day, being mean, being ugly, being angry. I didn't want to be there anymore. So I chose and set the intention that I will not stay there. I'm not staying here. I'm not doing this anymore. but I work hard at it. I have many things I do. Candles, and then this is actually one with the boy's a nice picture. Ooh, the light's not working, but anyway,
Love that.
so candles, flowers.
Okay, talk about those two things. Talk about those two things. So if someone goes, okay, I'm interested in a candle, tell people exactly what they could do with a candle to help them lean into their own healing. Literally, what would you like them to do?
The light gives you going into the light, shining the light. The light is bright. The light is bright. The light is bright. I light that candle with intention every day for Lonnie, in Lonnie's honor, in him, and to bring him in more. I know he's here, just brings him in more. Just for that shining bright light. So, and say things. I'm shining bright. I am going to be bright today. I am going to heal today. I am healing today. Positive things. Every time you look at that candle. I love you, Lonnie. You're awesome, Lonnie. I mean, oof, goosebumps. There's many, many words. Choose your own words. Anybody can.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So we're lighting the candle with intention, and every time we see that light, it gets us, it gets us, it gets us, and we get to make a choice about which direction we're going to move in. I'm healing today. I wish I was healing today. I wish I believed healing was possible today. Something, but you're here and now, and this is the point of power. If nothing else, say the name of your loved one. You know, Lonnie, come to me. Lonnie, show your face. You know, engage in some conscious action. Love that. And now's the perfect time of year, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere, to do that because it's winter.
Yes.
So the opposite of that would be the flowers. Tell us about flowers.
Okay, so you tend to get home and it's like, ooh, blah. I feel blah because you pretended to be this just fine out there in the real world. Oh, I'm fine. You come home, well, then all that let down because you stuffed all that down there instead of letting it out. And so here's you have a bouquet of flowers and you walk in your house and you put it in the vase and you make that, it's beautiful. There's beautiful, you know. You have to bring beauty. And to me, candles but the flowers, and this was actually, I thought I can do a shout out for Rachel Pearson. The reading she did with me with Lonnie, that was one of his things. He said, Mom, buy yourself flowers. So it was a huge thing. And we had a thing with flowers. So I was like, okay. And then he kept saying something about yellow flowers. Well, this year we had a drought and my garden was hard to keep going. It was rough. Because even though I was watering it, because of the atmosphere and the drought, it was making my flowers not bloom quite as beautiful as usual. So, but anyway, this one pot that I had made, and it was actually some flowers that came in that pot with, it was a vase, but it was like a pot that we got at Lonnie's memorial. And I had yellow petunias in there. And he kept saying something about yellow. Well, that pot just went nuts. All my other petunias were not. And so that's the beauty of flowers. Well, then when winter came, it's like, darn it, I got to really get flowers coming because I need them. Because every day I could look at that pot and go, thanks, Lonnie, because they were beautiful yellow flowers that all my others weren't doing so great because of the drought. So that's a beauty, but bring it in your house and the beauty of looking at them. This year I bought myself poinsettias early on back in November. Well, then in the holiday group, we were supposed to buy a gift from our loved ones. Well, mine was, I'm getting potted flowers because it's just a big thing with Lonnie and I. So I got a big, huge poinsettia. Did I say petunia?
Poinsettia.
I got a big, huge poinsettia. And then I got some other flower that I've never got before in a pot, but I can't wait to grow it outside when it gets warm. So, and then a miniature rose, white rose. And because I bought 3 because Lonnie 3, my 333 thing I always have. So they're beauty every day when I walk in my house, I get to see them. They're just beautiful. And then we started growing the amaryllis. Got too many flowers going in here. But every time I'm at the grocery store, which we don't go to the grocery store a whole bunch, being out in the country, we go for main shopping once a month and then a couple times for staples. But anyway, I make the intention of buying a bouquet of flowers. And so I have them too. And they're even beautiful when they're withering. I don't know. I can't explain it. Everything's beautiful to me now.
So there's a saying that I absolutely love. We don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. We see the world actually as we are. So as you literally are becoming more and more beautiful on the inside, what you experience on the outside, you see as beautiful as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because even the trees with no leaves are beautiful to me. I'm looking out the window right now behind me, you guys. And yeah, they're beautiful. I actually drew some today.
So what I love the opportunity to introduce folks to people like you because you are a living, breathing example of what is possible. Healing just didn't wash over you one day. I mean, you are working it. You are working it. You are working it. Same as me, same as Jessica.
Yeah.
And it's not easy. That's why people I hope for people to understand it. It's not easy. You have to do the work. Because any day that you don't do the work, you're going to feel crummy. I've already done that too. And then I'm like, what am I doing? I know what to do.
Right. And the gift of feeling crummy is I don't want to feel crummy anymore.
Yes.
So if people want to be able to listen to your Facebook Lives, how do they find you?
It's just on my personal page, Crystal Ewing. I'm in Colorado, Wiggins, Colorado. So I don't know. Sometimes that helps the search, but.
And are you going to try to do them every day?
My intention right now is Sunday nights through Thursday nights, but I'm not sure. And I don't have a set time. I don't do that because my schedule is my schedule and I watch my granddaughter and stuff. So I said, I'll be on between 6:30 and 8:30, maybe.
Yeah,
because sometime during those days I will be on, and I'm shooting for evening. I just seem to be more, I'm a night owl kind of person, so I do better at night.
And if people miss you live, they can still find the recording on your Facebook page.
Yeah, and they're all public, just like I did with your book readings. So you can find them. And also eventually I'm gonna do a separate page because I'm getting so many people in my on my friend list now just from reading your book, Tom. I've met so many wonderful, great people that have been following me. So Yeah, I'm going to set up a group eventually, but not yet. I want to stay where I am because there's people that follow me, but haven't, I don't know. I won't say.
Yeah. No. I hear you. I hear you. So if there are folks that are out there listening to us and you're thinking, well, that sounds good. You know, I would like to take a step closer. I would like more of that. In February, I'm offering what I call Permission to Mourn Module 1. It's a 3-week program. We create a safe, sacred space. You can literally experience the power of the group to facilitate your healing. It's February 1st through the 22nd. You can go to my website, which is tomzuba.com. All the information is there. Crystal, I cannot thank you enough for saying yes, 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 yes.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for my Lonnie finding you for me.
Yes, thank you,
And
Lonnie.
all of you.
Yeah, thank you, Lonnie. Any final thoughts, Jessica?
I am just so grateful to be here. And Crystal, I commend you so much for your bravery, your honesty, your transparency. It's incredible and it's amazing. And you are a true example of somebody that chooses consciously to make the choice over and over and over again and again and again to say that I don't want to be stuck in this place. I know that healing is possible. I'm going to lean in a little bit more and more and more each day. And you are doing it and you are radiant and Lonnie is radiant. And the color that you're wearing, you know, reflects those beautiful flowers that you talk about. And it's such an honor to be here with you. And thank you so much for sharing your story and Lonnie's and a big piece of your heart with us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Crystal. For everybody else, Jessica and I will be back next Thursday, 11 a.m. Central. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Take really, really good care of yourselves. Bye-bye, everybody.